Right here, down. Protect your out. We put the work in. Let's finish. Let's do this. Family, I'll do 1, 2, 3.
You see, we dream chase, cause that's all we was given to start with. Then we realized the dream was obtainable. Now look at us.
What's going on, Eagles Nation and TMTP family? Welcome to the Main Thing Podcast presents. It's your boy, Mr. Owens. And after further review, the call stands. I'm still official with no stripes. Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Main Thing Podcast presents. Today, I want to talk about a very, very special person that we love dearly here in Philadelphia. But before I get into that, welcome back to our supporters and to our new supporters. Welcome to our community. Hey, y'all, make sure that you all continue liking these videos, continue to flood those comment sections. Make sure to share and subscribe to our content and our community. And last but not least, don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss when we drop this pressure on y'all. As I've mentioned before, I wanted to talk about a very special person here in Philadelphia. And that special person that I want to discuss is the Howie Roseman, aka Howie, aka Ski Mask, aka Savage. Get all your draft picks and compensation. So a little bit about Howie Roseman, if you all don't know, is he's originally from Brooklyn, New York, born in 1975. He attended the University of Florida for undergrad, and then went on to Fordham University in New York for law school. He said as a kid that he always wanted to be a GM. That was his dream. That was his goal. And from there, Howie relentlessly reached out to the NFL teams to try to get into an organization, to get an intern role or something of that nature. He caught his big break in 2000 when he became an intern with the Philadelphia Eagles, our Philadelphia Eagles. He was solely focused on salary cap issues as an intern in 2000. But his hard work and persistence paid off when in 2003, he became the director of football administration. He kept putting his head down and kept working. And by 2006, he became the vice president of player personnel. And then 4 years later, Howie caught his big break within the organization in 2010 when Tom Heckert, the old GM here in Philadelphia, left for the Cleveland Browns, and Howie stepped in and filled in that role. Also in 2010, Howie became the youngest NFL executive at age 34 to assume a general manager role in 3 decades. I think that's a major achievement and a major accomplishment by Howie. Under Howie Roseman's tutelage, he has achieved a tremendous amount of accomplishments. Now, just to list off a few, Howie Roseman was named Pro Football Writers of America Executive of the Year twice. One time receiving that honor in 2017, and the next time receiving that honor in 2022 for exemplifying exceptional leadership. Howie is also admired for his aggressive approach and analytic-driven mindset, which he creates voids in the contract years. So what happens is if somebody is signed for a 4-year deal, and after the second year, they're making a lot of money against the cap. What Howie Roseman would do is he'll put into the contract stipulations where he'll create a void year where he can continue kicking that salary cap down the road, kicking the can essentially down the road. So then when a contract comes up, what he can do is he can renegotiate with the player and get them on a cheaper deal. Something similar to what he just did with Dallas Goedert. But what Howie has done with this organization is nothing short of sensational. He has 6 division titles since he's been a GM, Since 2016, the Eagles have made the playoffs 7 out of the 9 seasons. We have the 4th overall best record in the NFL. We all know it's a copycat league. Everybody wants to copy the successful organization and successful people, and it's rightfully so. With those statistics I just read off, I will want to copy the blueprint and the formula as well. As it's been proven, we just saw in the NFL draft just recently here in April, where a lot of teams, two off the top of my head, the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions, they took tackles and they took edge rushers and defensive tackles. Everybody has started to notice that Howie Roseman loves to build through the trenches. The trenches is where games are won and lost. I know here on the channel we always talk about offense, defense, and special teams, but the trenches specifically is where games are won and lost. If you're dominant up front, more times than not, you're going to achieve success. And that's what Howie Roseman has done over the course of the time that he has been here. An example of that, specifically one player that comes to my mind, is Brandon Graham, BG, the one that we all love dearly. In 2010, obviously we know that BG was selected in the first round of the NFL draft. A lot of fans and a lot of media were projecting and wanted Earl Thomas, the safety out of Texas, to be drafted here in Philadelphia. But Howie Roseman stuck to his guns. He stuck to his game plan, not his mood. What he did was take Brandon Graham, and not only did he take Brandon Graham turned into a Hall of Fame player. Howie, when I think about Howie, he envisions bully ball. He loves the trenches up front. He wants you to bully your opponent, dominate your opponent, and that's been the trend for a lot of our draft picks. Essentially, it's either offensive line or defensive line. As of late, Howie has kind of broken that strategy because we obviously have the best offensive line in the NFL and the best defensive line in the NFL. So it's now time to go get some impactful skill players, which Howie has done over these few years. Ever since I've been a Philadelphia Eagle fan since a kid, Howie is really all I know. Howie, we know that he had a struggle here in 2015 with Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly, we all know, wasn't the ideal fit here in Philadelphia, from whether he forced you to always soak in an ice tub, to timing your sleep and keeping your sleep patterns and things like that. He had a stranglehold on the players, and we all know a lot of players didn't like Chip Kelly. And during that time, Howie was forced to sit on the other side of the building in a storage closet, from what we've been told.
Howie Roseman, a few years ago, was relinquished of all control pretty much in this organization. He was put in the side, he was put in the side of the building where I didn't see him for over a year. 2 years ago, when they made a decision, he came out of there a different man. He came out of there with a purpose and a drive to make this possible. And I saw a different Howie Roseman, an underdog.
He sat there and didn't pout or didn't mope, didn't get down about himself. What he did was he got back in his bag and got better. What he did was he made sure that he knew the ins and outs about the salary cap, what he already knew. He made sure that he knew the ins and outs about player acquisitions, about contracts, about fostering bonds and personal relationships with players. It's different levels, because a lot of people get sidetracked with our players just being athletes, but you got to also understand at the end of the day, they're people as well. They're humans. So Howie has done a phenomenal job in fostering relationships and making people feel like people. Hence why we always have a lot of retirees of the Philadelphia Eagles, or even if a player leaves our organization, they go to other teams. They talk highly and speak highly about the Philadelphia Eagles organization. And that has a lot to do with one, Howie Roseman. Now, as I mentioned to you, with that 2015 season going on, and we didn't have the best season. Chip Kelly was actually fired the last week of the season when we were preparing to play for the New York Giants. Jeffrey Lurie said, I had enough, got Chip Kelly up out of there, and got his sidekick, his right-hand trusted man, and Howie Roseman back in the fold. That, if you ask Jeffrey Lurie, I feel that he will tell you that's the biggest mistake that he felt that he may have made since he's been an owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, allowing Chip Kelly to come into the organization, a person who is not cut from the same cloth as we are here in Philadelphia. But he did right by getting him back into the rightful spot that he's in. And to that tune, we've been to the Super Bowl 3 years out of the last 8 years, winning 2 of them. If that doesn't say anything, I don't know what else you want us to say or want me to say in that matter. Matter of fact, 2 of the Super Bowls that we've won have been with totally different rosters, totally different head coaches, and totally different quarterbacks. That is the main purpose of being a general manager, is to construct the best roster possible to go out and compete and win. Howie Roseman has checked all of those boxes, and for a very long time, the Philadelphia Eagles have sustained success. This is why he's able to create those void years in the contract, because he's built a culture. And not only Howie, we have to give credit to Jeffrey Lurie, to the coaching staffs that have been here, the players that have been here and bought in, and also the city for backing the Philadelphia Eagles. But again, this is the reason why he's able to create those void years in the contract, because he has built a organization and has built a culture, for a better word, in the NFL, where players want to stay in Philadelphia. Players want to grow with the organization, want to retire an Eagle. You can't tell me that. Let's throw out Tennessee, for instance. No shot or no shade at y'all. By no means. Respectfully. You can't tell me that in Tennessee that somebody will want to take voidable years or restructure their contract and things like that to stay in Tennessee and go 500 on a normal basis. Don't compete for Super Bowls. Don't compete for championships. That's what Howie has created here in Philadelphia. He created a culture where we compete for Super Bowls every year. We're in the Super Bowl conversation every single year. That's the difference between us and a lot of organizations. When we talk because we've had success, and we have success currently. Obviously, what you see on my hat, that's what happened this year. But a lot of other teams, they sit around and they'll talk, i.e. Cowboys, that haven't done anything in 30 years, but we'll get to them very, very soon. And they'll sit and talk and say, oh, we have these many rings and we've done this, we've done this. That was in the 19th century. You can arguably argue that Howie Roseman has constructed some of the best teams, and not only the best teams, but has constructed one of the most dominant organizations in the 20th century. As I mentioned before, we had the 4th best record of all time since 2000. Since 2000. That's 25 years, ladies and gentlemen. We've been doing this. We're not new to this. We're true to this. And a major reason for that is Howie Roseman. Now, it was crazy because when I was doing a little research. I didn't know. I know a lot about Howie, but I didn't know this and found this quite fascinating. He has a team called the Lab, which helps Howie with decision making in regards to player acquisitions and game strategy. So a lot of the analytics driven, as I mentioned earlier in the video, when it's 4th and 2 or 3rd and short, he divides with that team and gets the best possible solution out of the scenario. Um, it's just, to me, even when you see in the draft room, in a war room, what you call it, he always has everybody involved. Howie is a team player, not only on the field but off of the field. Um, Again, I just go back to fostering relationships, building chemistry with people, being a human to people. That is why the Philadelphia Eagles have done what we have done for such a long period of time. All right. Look, I know. Look, I can talk about Howie all day and all the achievements that he's received and gloat why I love the fact that he is our GM here in Philadelphia. But the main reason and the main thing that we are here to discuss is Howie receiving his award, the most valuable Philadelphian award, the MVP. He was celebrated with that achievement on Monday evening, and the specific reason why he won that award was the work that he has done with the Philadelphia Eagles and also in the communities. Howie is an advocate supporter of the Eagles youth organization, which is awesome. And then also with Alex's lemonade stand. He's also recognized for his strategic leadership. Beyond the player acquisitions, Howie Roseman has assembled some of the greatest coaching staffs that we have had here in Philadelphia's history. As we all know, we've had Andy Reid in the early 2000s, and then we had that guy that I don't want to mention, followed by Doug Peterson, and then now the great Nick Sirianni. Also, he facilitated one of the greatest defensive coordinators in Eagles history. It can be a debate between Vic Fangio and the late great Jimmy Johnson, but I'm proud to have had both of those gentlemen as the defensive coordinator since I've been a Philadelphia Eagles fan. And then he also facilitated the hiring of Kellen Moore, which worked out perfectly fine. We won a Super Bowl with him here as the offensive coordinator. And then now he has got his opportunity with the New Orleans Saints, which we hope and wish good luck to him. But then now we have Kevin Patullo that's going to step into that role. And I wanted to say as well on that portion that he's going to do very, very well, especially being an in-house hire and being around the fold and knowing that every day that goes on within our organization. But what is funny to me is what Howie is getting recognized for, outside of the leadership and him just assembling the team, and getting the contracts worked out and just building the culture that we have, is evident with the Super Bowl parade incident where he got hit with the beer can. It's unfortunate that Howie got hit with the beer can, but he said one line that will forever live in our hearts: I bleed for this city. I bleed for this city. That's what Howie Roseman, in fact, does. He is one of us. He's ingrained in our culture, in our city. Howie Roseman, as I mentioned earlier in the video, is originally from New Jersey, close to Monmouth County, which isn't too far from Philadelphia. But if I didn't know any of that, I would have thought that Howie Roseman has always been in Philadelphia, because just the way that he moves, what he embodies, the person that he is, what he signifies, it's Philadelphia. He just oozes Philadelphia. I just get so hype talking about our team, our organization, because we are very well ran. And matter of fact, I was watching a clip the other day and I saw Colin Coward. He had mentioned that the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Rams were the best ran organizations since 2000. And I had to scoff and laugh at that because what I've been talking about this whole entire video, Howie has achieved so much success. Super Bowls, division titles, all pro players, great relationships, and just making the Philadelphia Eagles feel like family. So I just want to say congratulations again to Howie Roseman. You definitely deserve this honor. And it couldn't have went to a better person. But before I get out of here, guys, guys and girls, what I want to do is ask you all a question about Howie Roseman. Now, excluding the Super Bowl year teams, which was 2017, 2022, and 2024, which team was your favorite that Howie Roseman has assembled since he has been here in Philadelphia? I would love if you guys comment that down in the comment section. Before I get out of here, I want to say thank you to our loyal supporters for always coming and stopping by and checking in on our content. To our new supporters, welcome to our community and the family. I hope that you all continue to have a blessed day and an even more blessed week. But make sure that you all continue to like the videos, continue to flood those comment sections. Also, remember to share and subscribe to our community and channel. And last but not least, don't forget to turn on the notification bells, also known as the Liberty Bell looking thingy, so you don't miss when Swoop comes out with the Eagles news and updates. But if you don't know, I go by Mr. Owns, and this is the Main Thing Podcast, where we keep the main thing the main thing. From action pack to jam pack, when it comes to the birds, just like the city of Philly, I always got your back. But until next time, I'll see y'all.
It was I was gonna make a lot of money doing what I wanted to do. I went after it, and it was a struggle to achieve it. But you know what? I caught that bitch. Dream chasing.